the base to attract a lot of talents, to attract a lot of new corporations, to attract, let's say, companies that want a place where they could just install, their R&D basically centers, their, back office centers.
Hello, good morning. I'm Diego. Today I'm here in Madrid with José Ignacio Morales, CEO of CREA Madrid Novo Norte. José, it's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you very much to you.
José, before we start, can you please give us an overview of this magnificent project that you are developing in Madrid?
Yeah, as you are describing, it's a very pharaonic project, I would say. Yeah, I would say after 33 years of trying to build a consensus and to get all the permits, I have very good news and very, let's say, recent news, basically, Diego, that we started construction works by this month of April. So that means that just 2 weeks ago, we started for the first time. We started with Las Tablas, which is one of the areas where we were, let's say, more advanced, so that we will be able to start urbanization works before summertime, and the ability to deliver homes, let's say, by late 2029. So it's let's say, a very we're very happy about that because there were a lot of efforts put behind that.
Our audience is very global. Can you give us a brief of how this concept started and what is the key elements that will make this project very successful to Madrid?
Yeah, sure. I mean, first of all, in terms of size, we're talking about, let's say, the largest regeneration project that we have, urban regeneration project that we have ongoing now in Europe. We're talking about 2.4 million of square meters. And the concept actually is pretty, let's say, easy to understand and very easy to identify that there are many good opportunities to export this concept, let's say, to many big cities worldwide. The idea is just to work around the Chamartín railway station, and the basic, let's say, core activity is just to do the undergrounding of the railway tracks, so that we can somehow take advantage of all the space, that is now occupied by the tracks, and we can just make, let's say, a very nice real estate development on top of that. So we basically generate the resources with the real estate development, and those resources are mainly used to somehow do the undergrounding of the railway tracks.
Great. And what is the challenge to coordinate public and a private initiative? How do you manage to deal with both sides?
Yeah, it's a major challenge. Because as I just said, the heart of our project is the Chamartín railway station, and it's an operating asset. So that means that we need to do all the development. We're talking about developing basically 10,000, above 10,000 homes, and developing basically 1.5 million of square meters of tertiary use, mainly office uses, right? So that we are going to push, let's say, the central business district from the center of the city to the north of the city of Madrid. Now, the challenge is certainly to be able to do this development without interfering too much in the daily use and daily, let's say, operating performance of the entire railway network, which is a major challenge.
I can imagine. And at this first stage, what is the elements that you are offering first in terms of housing, office, retail, logistics? What is this first step looks like?
I mean, the idea is just not to reinvent the wheel, in the sense that there were in the past some very large projects, let's say, worldwide, like King Cross, Canary Wharf, the Défense, Hudson yards in New York, many in Santa Julia in Milan. So the idea was initially to learn from those projects what was, let's say, done in a way that could be improved. And I think one of the major lessons we learned is that we need to combine, when you just try to build a complete new central business district, we need to combine this, let's say, office use with residential use, with leisure kind of, installed capacity, so that we avoid the mistake of having offices. When you turn off the offices, the entire neighborhood becomes, absolutely a desert, right? So the idea around the Madrid Nuevo Norte concept was just to create a new city, a vivid city, a place where you can certainly work, you can certainly live, And of course, you can spend your leisure time and go out and take advantage of the magnificent weather that we have here in Spain and of course in Madrid.
And in terms of opportunities, which opportunities do you have for private players that are maybe looking to invest in Madrid? Do you still have any opportunities left?
Yeah, many of them. I would say there are many of them. The idea is this Madrid is kind of the way we see it, right? It's just to create the platform where we can have, let's say, the base to attract a lot of talents, to attract a lot of new corporations, to attract, let's say, companies that want a place where they can just install, their R&D basically centers, their, back office centers, that whatever they want to develop in a sense that centralized kind of functions. And they might ask, hey, where should I install, this capacity? Where should I move to, right? And we want to be Madrid, to be one of those cities to be at the top of the list, right? And how we can do that? Was just, by creating, the platform that is somehow a very appealing and a very good, let's say, proposal for that purpose.
In terms of the, we were talking about a new generation, in terms of how people are looking for a better balanced life. Have you started conversation with big corporations already? Are you showing the project? How is their feedback, if so?
Absolutely. And yeah, I would say there is a long list of big corporations looking for, let's say, above 100,000 square meters of office space. And they cannot find, a proposal like that. They cannot find a place where, they could, open up their offices and say, hey, talent, come over, because, this is going to be a complete new concept. This is going to be a complete new proposal. I think Madrid is a very good mix of, let's say, as you were describing before, those new generation of people are looking for a more balanced lifestyle where they can combine, a great place to work with a great place to live, with some, let's say, facilities for spending their leisure time, do some sports. And in that sense, I would say we have the ability to offer a very differentiated, proposal to those big corporations. Yeah, that we have a lot of ongoing conversations in that direction, and the feedback we're getting is amazing.
Great. In terms of future, is there anything that concerns you, or this geopolitical situation that you are facing, has anything changed on your long-term plan or not yet?
I mean, I would say probably the thing, Diego, is that we need to get probably more used to work in a more volatile, let's say, business environment, which may imply that you have a raise in interest rates, you have a raise in let's say, IRR expectations from investors. I think we need to get used to that. Probably, let's say, the normal world is much more similar to the thing we are enjoying today than what we have gone through in the last 20 years with a lot of stability, with very limited volatility. Having said that, in our case, let's say our proposal is just to create mainly, a complete new offer in terms of office space combined with residential space. And in that sense, I think our project remains very, very stable in that sense. We come from, let's say, more than 30 years of history. The idea is that we keep on going the promise of doing something very different in the coming 30 years as well.
Jose, thank you very much for joining us. We wish you good luck on the project. It's something very special that as a society is nice to see that the city evolves, right, and brings something new, something fresh that for sure add value on people's life.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.